the Fukushima Daiichi nuclear plant have another problem on their hands. Officials with Tokyo Electric Power Company say the levels of radioactivity in monitoring more than 300 tons of highly radioactive water were drawn out of the storage tank. The water is now tested to continuously and will set aside all batteries.
Do you know how deeply I, the living God, desire a people for my own? That is, a people who will love me with all of their hearts, who will serve me with gladness and thanksgiving day by day. Do you know the longing that I, the living God, have had for generations, that men would be totally committed unto me? That is, that they would be giving themselves to be as clay in my hands, knowing that I am their potter. Yet I say, generation after generation, I am sorely and sadly disappointed, because there are only a few who will yield unto me. And I say, it is me, the living God, who does search throughout the earth for those who will yield themselves over to be mine. That is, who will will their wills in obedience unto me, because it is me they desire to please. That is, the ones who will deny themselves, take up the cross, and follow in the way that I provide. Now I say, you are living in a time when multitudes are wayward and careless. They are foolish and full of all manner of vanity, vexing their own lives. Yet I say, it is me, the living God, who does reach out nonetheless to a perverse, a wicked, a vile generation, to draw unto myself the ones who will come unto me. And I say that I still have the longing for a people who will be yielded unto me, who will walk uprightly in me. And I say that I still search throughout the earth for the ones who will be mine. Now I say this day, if you consider that it is me, the living God, who is ever present, to give to thee the truth, the light, the mercy, and the peace, I say, be thankful unto me. That is, be thankful that I will direct thee, correct thee, and guide thee forth, that you can indeed be uplifted in my way. That is, that you can be given the truth, the light, the strength, and the mercy that only can come from me, the author and the finisher of thy faith. And I say, when it is me, the living God, that you will stay focused upon, then you are found well-pleasing unto me. Now I say this day that I, the living God, do delight when any man or woman will purpose themselves to my will, making the same their own. That is, when they will abandon their self-will, their self-determination, and be determined to follow after me. That is, such ones show that they are well-pleasing unto me by the demonstration of their lives. For I say, it is not in cheap talk, but it is in the walk that I judge a man. And I say, when any man or woman will make it their determination to follow after me, to be pleasing unto me, to walk uprightly in me, then I say, it is me, the living God, who does welcome them. That is, in the sense that I will receive the ones who desire to be received of me. That is, they desire to be received of me, brought forth in the truth, the light, the mercy that I provide. And I say, it is me, the living God, who finds such ones well-pleasing. Now I say, you know of a surety that you are living in a time of gross rebellion, stubbornness, and pride, for men have refused to repent unto me. That is, no matter what it is that I've allowed to come upon them, that I've poured out upon them in the terms of my wrath, my fury revealed, I say they have refused to repent. Yet I say, even in the midst of such chaos, calamity, and suffering, I say, it is me, the living God, who still reaches out. That is, I patiently reach out for the ones who cry in their hearts for me. For I say, it is me, the living God, who does indeed, by the power of my Spirit, search the hearts of men to see who it is that is longing for me. And I say, when I find such ones, I say that I reveal myself unto them. Now I say this day, be thankful that I, the living God, have revealed myself unto thee, that you could indeed be received by me. That is, that you could be found acceptable in the way that I offer, the way that I provide. Now I say this day that I, the living God, do not call thee to walk afar off, but I say that I call thee to be ever guided by me. And I say that I call thee to be thankful that it is me that you can continue to look unto and believe. And I say that I call thee to be thankful that I purpose, direct, and guide thee forth in the truth, the light, the blessedness of who I am. That is, that you can indeed be ever made glad that it is me that you are privileged to serve. Now I say this day that I, the living God, never called thee to be walking in the way of fools. I never called thee to walk afar off from me. But I say that I've called thee to be coming forth in the truth, the light, the strength, the mercy that I provide, ever guided in my way. And I say that I call thee to be ever directed, purposed, and instructed in the truth, the life, the strength, the mercy of who I am, ever directed in the strength that I provide. For I say it is me, the living God, who is ever present unto the ones who keep me as their first estate. That is, the ones who seek to love me, to serve me, to obey me with all of their hearts. But know of a surety that the mockers, the scoffers, the fools who pursue the course of their own lust, I say they will be found guilty in the same. That is, because they have chosen a way that is far from me, because they have chosen to live in spiritual whoredom. That is, they have chosen a way that is indeed spiritual adultery and vexation, because they are far from me. And I say all the while that as the harlot they wipe their mouths, they say they've done no evil, but yes, indeed, they are evil before me. Now I say this day that I, the living God, have called thee to walk uprightly. I say that I've called thee to be ever strengthened and guided in the truth of who I am. And I say that I've called thee to be thankful that it is me that you can be looking unto, believing and trusting in. And I say that I've called thee to be thankful that I will purpose thee, direct thee, and bring thee forth in the blessedness of truth that I provide. For I say, if it is me, the living God, that you will remain focused upon, it is me, the living God, who will ever guide thee in my life. And it is me, the living God, who will direct thee, correct thee, and purpose thee in the truth, the light, the strength, the blessedness that I provide. Now I say, in a wayward, a perverse, a vile, and ugly generation, consider that it is me, the living God, who delights to give thee mercy. That is, I delight to give thee the mercy, the truth, and the light always, as you walk uprightly in me. And I say that I do delight to give to thee the strength of who I am, that you can indeed be ever rejoicing in my way. For I say that I, the living God, do not call thee to the darkness, the iniquity, the calamity that is abounding in these times. But I say that I call thee to the clarity of the straight and narrow way that I provide for my own. And I say that you do not need to be found under my wrath revealed, but I say that you can come forth uplifted in my mercy. Now I say this day, if you look upon what it is that I, the living God, do intend, I say that I intend the way of life. And I say, when any man or woman will walk according to my intention rather than their own, then they are well-pleasing unto me. But I say, when the ones who say they are my people will walk according to the intention of their own carnality, the intention of demons, no, they are hypocritical pretenders, pursuing the course of their own evil desire. And I say they will not be found acceptable unto me, because it is not me that they've loved with all of their hearts. Now I say this day that I, the living God, do not find pleasure in those who go a-whoring from me to follow after that which is unrighteousness, that which is wickedness, that which is evil. But I say it is me, the living God, who finds pleasure in the ones who will choose to walk uprightly, ever being guided by me. That is, guided in the blessedness, the truth, and the light that I give them day by day. That is, guided in the truth of who I am, ever made glad to be serving me. Now I say you are living in a time when fools continue in foolery, and whores continue in harlotry, and those who are perverse in their perversions. But I say, nonetheless, it is me, the living God, who continues to call unto myself the ones who will be obedient unto me. I say you are living in a time of great sinfulness and wretchedness upon this earth, yet I say that I, the living God, do reign supreme. And I say, in the sifting and the shifting of it all, I say that I will bring forth a remnant who will be true unto me. And I say, because they will prove to be true, I say they will be well received of me. Now I say this day that I, the living God, know exactly what you have need of in the sifting and the shifting to bring you forth purified. Therefore I say, do not allow an evil heart of unbelief to fester in thee. But I say, in every situation, every circumstance, I say, rejoice for my mercy. And I say, be thankful that I, the living God, am the one ever present to direct thee, correct thee, and guide thee forth. And I say, be thankful that I am the one ever present to give to thee the blessedness of truth that can only be found through me. Now I say this day that I, the living God, will be with thee to direct thee in that which I intend, that which I provide. And I say, if you will indeed allow yourself to be directed, corrected, and guided forth, then you will be proven to be well-pleasing unto me. But I say, if you stray from my way, if you go a-whoring in the way of fools, I say you will be damned in the same. For I say that I, the living God, do not welcome the unrepentant harlots, nor the unrepentant perverts, nor the unrepentant proud fools who want their own way. But I say, when men will repent of their sins and abhor the filthiness of the same, then they are found acceptable unto me. Now I say this day, be thankful for the correction, the instruction, the direction that I give thee every single day. That is, be thankful that you can be ever purposed, directed, and guided by me, the author and the finisher of thy faith. And I say, be thankful that I will purpose thee in the truth, the light, the mercy of who I am, and you can rejoice in me. For I say, it is me, the living God, who is indeed all righteousness and truth, all blessedness and strength, and the mercy provided for my own. Now I say this day, if you look upon what it is that I, the living God, do intend, I say that it is the way of my life. And I say, if you will be accepting of that way, then you are ever brought forth in me. And I say that you will be uplifted, strengthened, directed, and guided, for I am the one who is able. And I say, it is me, the living God, who is the way of all righteousness, truth, mercy, hope, and the peace intended for my own. Now I say this day that I, the living God, do not call thee to live under the cursedness that is the just reward of those who are far from me. But I say that I call thee to live under the blessedness that I provide unto all who humble themselves unto me. For I say, if a man will truly humble himself, turn from his wicked ways, and walk uprightly in me, then I say it is me, the living God, who will bless and honor such a man. But I say, if a man will be perverse and proud, determined to do it his way, then I say that all of his labors are in vain. For I say that his religious shows and his self-righteous dictates mean absolutely nothing to me. For I say that I, the living God, do search throughout the earth for those who will willingly subject themselves unto me. That is, the ones who choose the way of obedience rather than disobedience, the ones who are thankful to be serving me. And I say, if it is me that you choose to believe in, if it is me that you choose to serve, of course you are guided in my life. But I say, if you are serving the gods of the heathen, you are serving delusion and confusion, and you will be brought low by the same. Now I say this day that I, the living God, am just in all of my judgments and my wrath revealed. Therefore I say, do not side with the evildoers, not in any way. For I say that men do evil in secret, it is not even manifest to the carnal eye. But I say, it is me, the living God, who does know what it is that men do, that they think they get by with, yet they do not. For I say, it is me, the living God, who will surprisingly bring my wrath upon them. Then they will know and understand they have been displeasing unto me. Now I say, there are many that I have smitten in this wicked generation, yet I say they have refused to repent and turn unto me. That is, they have refused the way of forgiveness, the way of mercy, the way of truth and light. And I say they've chosen instead the way of their own despair, and yes, they have loved it so. And I say it is because they have chosen to identify with the evil rather than the good that is found in me. Now I say this day that I, the living God, am in this wicked generation, causing men to display exactly where it is that they walk. That is, if they walk in an evil heart of unbelief, then I say that I put the pressure upon them to display the same. And I say, if they walk in perversion and all manner of spiritual whoredom, I say that too is evidenced by their very behaviors. But I say that the ones who love me and long for me will likewise display the behavior of righteousness. Thank you.